Steeler Nation. Hey, I tell you, if I have said it once, I have said it 4,572 times. Every single year, we need to draft a running back in the 5th round. What do you mean we ain't got no 5th round draft pick? Figure it out. I'm talking about the 98th, talking about the 175th. Now I'm going to be talking about what we may need to do with that 117. Let's go. Steeler Nation, thank you for checking out the Steeler Wade Show. I hope you have a good time. What I'm going to be talking about, obviously, from before, is going to be how are we going to spend a draft pick on a possible late round running back, right? We have the 98th pick, and we have what I wanted to do is I've always said draft a running back in the 5th round. I don't care the quality of a player that you are going to receive as far as what the NFL values out there every single round, every single year. Even more so now with the way that I don't want to get off topic, but even more so now with the way that the kickoff rules have changed. I believe that there's going to be a much different scheme going out there as far as it's going to be heavier personnel. So this could give more value to late round running backs, tight ends. So first one I'm going to talk about, probably most popular, one that I have just kind of beat this dead horse on, is Ray Davis. I love the idea of the guy, and he has a great story. He ran on hard times as a child. He was one of 11 siblings. There was a point where he ended up getting separated, from his younger brothers and sisters through the foster care system. I might develop a little love. I've talked about this too many times. Ray Davis, his story is like a cousin to Najee Harrison with my daughter, and losing her. I got love for the guy. I'm not going to keep on going on about him, but I do have to warn you, press like before you don't like it. Tonight's going to be one of those notepad nights because I got a lot of things. I'm going to go as quickly as I can. But first off, tonight I'm going to do a little bit of bragging. Saturday, check it out. I have been invited by Jason from Mike Drop Sports to be a guest on his show. And I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm having a great evening. Just got done. Got's not a word if you learn anything tonight. But just on chat with him, and I'm just really excited about it. He seems like such a cool cat, and I just want to give him big props. He had Merril Hoge on his show. I'm going to put a lot of descriptions, a lot of links down in my description. That's what always happens with my show, along with a lot of footage with tape that you can enjoy. The links are probably much better than the quality of the podcast as you are going to see right now. But check it out, please, fans. If there's any way you can figure out a way of sharing it, I don't know how you do your deals, but you want to be creative and show a little love for my channel, do a little share of some sort. I really would appreciate it. Ray Davis, I've talked about him so much. He's a Northern California guy. Talked about in my podcast about NorCal boys are just different. I am a Southern California guy living in Southwest Michigan, but NorCal boys are different. And he is just a great running back. He would definitely be this plug and play kind of thing. He was number 1 in scoring last year. I've gone over this. Number 1 in attempts. A lot of fans believe that these running backs are coming out of college with a 3, 4, 5, route tree. And they're not like that. They're not used like that. They're not I mean, they have basic schemes. They might have 3 trick ponies, you know. Ray Davis, of all these players, and that's why I have him ranking so high, is the one that can actually do routes right now. I have him in between like 85 and 105 as far as my value. I don't have a big board. I got a little board, a poquito board. But I love the guy, and I can't not say enough about him. He's probably considered fifth, sixth possible running back in a class that people do not have much value on. I don't know how that affects the slide, you know. The other guy I want to talk to you about is Frank Gore Jr. First things last, Frank Gore Jr. did not play against the competition that you would like to see him play against. It is what it is, and it is probably the most disheartening thing. Of the 3 players that I'm going to talk about, look, his hands in reception, that's the first thing I want to talk about, because I believe that from the things that I've learned about the Arthur Smith offense is that we are going to see a lot more. I'm so excited about being on Mic Drop Sports. A lot more passes to the running backs, and not just screen passes. Another reason why I think Calvin Austin is on thin ice. But another thing that I've learned about Arthur Smith's offense is that sometimes he likes to use 2 running backs. These guys that I'm mentioning here would be great as the sidekick or the Robin to Najee Harris or Jaylen Warren next year. That's where I'm looking at these guys. The type of player that you are getting at this draft position. So, talking about Frank Gore Jr., he is a miniature version. Like, I don't give a rat's about the NFC. I've never cared about anybody that plays over there. Just the way I am, and you know this. It's dumb. But you have got to. I know who Frank Gore is. Frank Gore Jr. is like a little mini one of him. He literally is. Of the 3 guys that I'm mentioning tonight, even above Ray Davis, first off, of course, it's the competition. You cannot take a lot of the things that you see that he does when you're watching the offense of Ole Miss. It's just not against hard players. But the thing about with him is, the 2 things, is that of these 3 players, as far as receiving, he has the softest hands of these 3 that I'm going to mention. And Cody Schrader is not like a big, he's the other one, but he has the softest hands, beautiful catching, beautiful direction. The other thing that I like the most about him, more so than the other 3, is his feet, his footwork, but he is slow like a turtle. He is slow. He is not a guy like that. There's the other thing about the Arthur Smith offense. They talk about how they're going to want to use like a zone blocking, like a zone outside. He is not fast enough to do that. He is a right up the center. The thing I like the most about him is that he gets so skinny. Let me. Oh, that's a bleach stain on one of my favorite shirts. So skinny, going through that line like, whoa! I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful. He is his footwork while he plays and the way he catches, he is very nice. So I'm talking like that might be like 175 pick. I don't know how everything's gonna fall. The guy that I'm the most excited about is Cody Schrader. And the only reason that I found out about this guy is that because I only pick things that are very popular with people. I was looking at what are some options for later round tackles. And the one that I started enjoying watching the most, I've talked about it before, Javon Foster from Missouri. So I've been watching, I'm watching Missouri's offense. As I'm watching the offense, I'm like, who the, who is this running back? My belly looks so big right now. I must have good posture. Who is this running back? Because, it was amazing. I'm watching this tackle all the time, and here goes this running back on another catch, and another run, and another twist, and another. Folks, okay, so we got this one 17. I don't know if that is the value you would want to put on Cody Schrader, but if you were going to pick an example of what you think the standard is, what you think of a player that you want to have on your team, hardworking. Now, I'm not talking about hardworking. I'm talking about uber hardworking, dedicated. And he has a wonderful story. He started off at a Division II school. He started in high school. He had over 6,000. I don't know anything about high school football. I'll tell you right now. All right, I'll tell you. You wanted to push me up. I don't know anything about high school football. He had over 6,000 yards. I figured that's got to be a lot even for high school. Didn't get any interest, but he ended up going to a 2A school. Did real well. He became a walk-on because he wanted to do it so much. He became a walk-on to Missouri. He started out in the 7th position as far as the ranking of the running backs, number 7. He led last year. Here we go. First in rushing yards, first in attempts in all of SEC, 1,800 yards from scrimmage. I know that there are a lot of Steeler fans out there, big part of Steeler Nation, that is absolutely in love with Jaylen Warren. This cat is going to be like a Jaylen Warren. I'm just saying. Jaylen Warren's, it's that catching. But the thing I think that Steelers love about the tenacity of Jaylen Warren is that when he gets hit, the way that he is able to keep balance and churn them feet and get that 1 3/4 extra yards, it's that churning of the feet. All 3 of these players, man, I think they're great. But I'm going to put a lot of links down there, and you can watch for yourself and see some really cool stuff, because all 3 of these, I did not pick anybody that had fumble problems. If you want to give an honorable mention, I'm out of Southwest Michigan. What was his name? Estime out of Notre Dame. He's a bigger back. That's to be your 117 pick, I guess, if you didn't want to move around. But, that's a big back choice. So, folks, please like the video. Again, I am going to be on Mic Drop Sports, and if there's any way you could think of sharing that's going to happen and get that cat Jason some love. And thank you, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great over the Hope Day night. Good night, folks.